All right. Let's see. I don't know where I am because I can't switch this stupid thing around. I have to manually turn it around. But anyway, I'm just going to do, let me see if I can do this. I'm just going to do a simple cooking video making some homemade bean dip that I enjoy making. Yeah, it's actually pretty tasty. So I'm going to run you down the ingredients and the approximates. It's nothing scientific about what I'm doing here. So let's see. Okay, so first what we got is, that's refried beans, and yes, that's greasy lard on top from the bacon that was put in there. I got about a cup of water, and this, I started using this instead of bouillon cubes because it's got a really intense flavor. This is some homemade pico, taco seasoning, and some flour. Okay, so first thing I got to do is come over here and turn on my black skillet, or my cast iron skillet, and make sure that flame's not too high because I don't want to burn anything. Okay, so now let me see if I can, wow, this is gonna be crazy. Okay, let's see what I can do. Okay, we're gonna try and put that on top of the beans for now, and then we'll do a little bit. First thing I'm gonna do, so I'm going to put in a good couple of tablespoons of the pico de gallo that my wife made. You can get the store-bought if you like. It's just really easy to make. Tomatoes, chopped jalapeno, chopped onions, chopped cilantro. Salt and pepper to taste. I like to put a little bit of lime juice. My wife did not. I also like to put garlic in there. And we're going to let that go for just a little bit. I'm going to take my handy dandy 1 teaspoon measuring spoon, and I'm going to do about a teaspoon of flour, and I'm just going to scoop that in on top of the stuff there, on top of the pico. And then let's see, yeah, this one will work. Get in here with this little guy, and we're just going to mix that flour in with the pico and let the flour flavor cook out of it. Takes about a minute or so to get the flour flavor out of there, and just let it cook down a little bit. Well, while that's getting ready, let me show you a little close-up of this guy. It's called Better Than Bouillon, or premium. It's a roasted beef base. They make chicken as well. Excuse me. And you could use a little bit of water. You don't have to use too much of this because it's pretty intense. So, you know, just, I guess you can kind of see what I got going on there. It's not very much. That's gonna go in here as well. That'll melt down. Like I said, this is in place of a beef bouillon cube or beef stock. Okay, so now just about, you saw that, probably about a good tablespoon or 2 of water, and that's just to, so that the bouillon cube has a chance to, or the beef stock has a chance to melt in. I want some of that water to actually evaporate off too, so. Yeah, these videos I do, they're raw. I don't know anything about editing. I don't edit anything I put on here. So let's see, let's get over the top here. You can see what I got going on. The color of the flour changed there because it's a pretty intense, rich stock. Okay, now we are going to, okay, I'm gonna do this. All right. Now, while that's going right now, that it should be long enough for the flour to get that floury flavor out of there. And now we're gonna try and take beans without a lot of juice, because then it takes forever to evaporate down, and I end up burning everything. Oh, I forgot to put out one other ingredient. I'll grab that up here in a little bit. Okay, so probably a good cup and a half, 2 cups of beans. I'm gonna let that cook down a little bit. While that's going, I'm gonna get my McCormick taco seasoning. And there's nothing really, like I said, no science to this. You just kind of do what you want to do. So maybe about a half a teaspoon of taco seasoning. At this stage of the game, I don't put any salt because I want to see how this is going to act all by itself. I want to mix in that taco seasoning. Then I get out my mashed potato masher and my Marine Corps pot holder, and I want to mash those beans down. Try and smash them down as much as you can, make this as creamy as possible. Oh, you can smell that taco seasoning already. Man, that smells good. I'm getting a little boil going on in these things. I'm not going to turn the heat down because I want them to boil. I want that more of the liquid to evaporate out of it. And just keep going over and over this until you get it all smashed down pretty good. This one's not a really good masher for making what I'm doing here for breaking this down, because it's got a lot of big holes, so beans tend to slide through there. But that's why I just keep going over it and over it and over it until I get it all down. That looks about right. Let's get that back over the center of the fire. And now, the one thing I forgot to take out originally for the list is some shredded cheddar cheese. You can use whatever cheese you like. I'm a cheddar guy. I'm usually a sharp cheddar guy, but when I don't buy it, we get mild. So I'm going to put a couple of little handfuls, up to about a full cup. Depends on how much you like your cheese. Okay, then get back in here and just start stirring this around, letting that cheese melt, mixing it in. I do a lot of this by eye because I really hate measuring stuff out. But this is like my cheesy bean dip, and it actually comes out really good. It's going to be really runny when you first take it off the stove, despite all the cheese that I put in there. So what you got to do is just let it set up a little bit. Put it in another container if you want out of this one. That way it has a chance to cool down. It'll thicken up and it'll serve up with your whatever chips you like, little tortilla chips. Pretty good. Okay. There's that guy. Now let's see. This is where we are. This is what we're looking at. I might have put a little too much cheese in there, you know, but you could use a good pepper jack if you want for a little extra spice. But I have a feeling. Let me turn that down a little bit. Yeah, we are there. Okay, I don't think that's going to get any thinner without burning the bottom of my beans. So we're going to cut the power or the heat off on that one, and gonna let that cool down. Like I said, you serve this up. You could chill it, or you could just let it get to room temperature. It'll thicken up, and it's actually a pretty nice item to scoop with your bean dip or with your tortilla chips. You can put it on burritos instead of, you know, folding regular pinto beans in there. You got a lot of the spices and seasonings already in there. I'll give this a taste, and I'll put a little bit of salt in it to make sure that it's the right It's got the right amount of seasoning to it, and maybe a little bit of pepper. You could throw in a little extra spice if you want. If you like the flavor of Tabasco and pickled jalapenos, that's a good thing. You could chop those up, the jalapenos, and throw those in there. I have fresh jalapenos in with the pico, but the pickled gives it a different flavor. And you know, this, like I said, I use this either as a side dish as refried beans, or I can use this as a dip. You can use this to fill up your burritos, you know, with your other, you know, whatever meats you want to throw in there too. Goes great with scrambled eggs. Anyway, so there we go. That's my cheesy bean dip. Enjoy it.